Hello, everyone. How are you today? Welcome to another mobile communication class. So in today's lesson, we're going to be focusing on digital activism, how the rise of mobile communication has given platforms for digital activism. So we're going to be learning about what we mean by digital activism, the types of digital activism, and the challenges of digital activism. Okay, the first part is defining digital activism. So what is meant by digital activism? Digital activism is a type of social activism that is mediated through information and communication technologies to promote social movements. So in other words, it is collective action for a cause. But what differs it from other social movements or social activism is that it's mediated or it uses or utilizes information and communication technologies. So, for example, if you're using your mobile phone for a course, that means that's one type of digital activism. Another definition is organized or individual level efforts by citizens to influence social, political, cultural, and policy issues using digital technologies. So some other experts have coined the term online activism, or with the rise of social media, that sometimes they call it social media activism or hashtag activism, because hashtags are a defining factor in social media, where if you want to find posts regarding a topic, then you will just use the hashtag. That is once popular in Twitter, but now it's used in other social media such as Instagram or Facebook. Okay, so these terms are similar. Online activism, hashtag activism, social activism, digital activism. So they all refer to a type of social activism, or in other words, social activism is organized or individual level efforts by citizens that is mobilized to influence social, political, cultural, and policy issues. Okay, or in other words, sometimes we call it social movements that is mediated through digital technologies or ICTs. Okay, so what are the types of digital activism? The first one is clicking. So sometimes if you've ever heard the term clicktivism, so it's how when you click on a social media post or a post regarding a cause, whether you're liking it or upvoting it or following it, then it can be regarded as a type of digital activism, okay, where large volumes of clicks will determine its legitimacy, validation, and authority. The second type of digital activism is meta voicing. Okay, so this means when you are sharing, retweeting, reposting, or commenting on a post of a cause or related to a movement, that means you are reinforcing ideas, values, and information. Okay, so this also can lead to the echo chamber, where you might just be retweeting or you might just be sharing information in regards to one type of cause and not really getting information about maybe they have like opposing views. So this can create an echo chamber, or what we call a social media bubble, where you're just reinforcing your own ideas, values, and information in regards to that topic. Okay, so this also depends on the size of your social networks. And the third type of digital activism is asserting. So if clicking and meta voicing is just kind of like passive, where you're not really actively trying to analyze and then giving out your response. Asserting is you're asserting your opinion by actually making content or content creation on your social media. This is aimed to frame messages and opinion in regards to the cause that you are following or that you are dedicated to. Okay, the fourth type of digital activism is online petitions. Okay, so sometimes governments can make petitions for citizens to request review of an issue. For example, if you've ever heard of change.org, so that's an online petition site where you can just start a petition in regards to an issue that requires a number of signatures, a great number of signatures, where once it's finished, the petition is finished, then you can take it up to your authority, whether it's your legislative members or members of the government that can actually make a change in regards to that policy. So the minimum, you can create the minimum number of signatures that you feel is adequate, yeah, to get a guaranteed response from the policymakers. The fifth type of digital activism are bots. So bots are robots that are operating on social media. So they can be in the form of social media accounts, but they are not real people. So they're just robots that people design these bots to be able to, so they have their own accounts, they can make posts, they can comment on other people's posts, but you program them to comment, or the post it's based on your opinion or based on what are you trying to say in social media. So of course, the bots are created to mimic real people. So other people will think, oh, these are real people. These are people who actually have a say, who actually support us. Whereas in reality, they are not real people. So they're just robots. So it's challenging to distinguish bots from real people. And sometimes these bots can create, or they can send hoaxes, or they can spread hoaxes. They can, their posts contain hate speech and so forth. So they have this potential to be really negative in regards to activism if you are trying to enforce your opinions. Yeah, of course, it's kind of like lying, because people will think that these are real people where in actual they're not. Okay, and the next one is e-funding. Okay, so sometimes we call it crowdfunding, where if you want to get, if you need funds to do some social cause, or for someone who really needs funding for certain issues, then you can use technology to generate revenue for this cause. Okay, so you can make donations online through cryptocurrencies, or even through just fintech, yeah, financial technology providers, yeah, websites, retail click-throughs, online auctions, and so forth. Okay, so where now if you have a cause of, or if you really need people a social cause and you need funding for that, you can just go online and create a campaign in a crowdfunding site, and then there are people who actually will want to spend their money on that social cause of their choice. Okay, the next type of digital activism is data activism. So this is how data is trying to be made readily available for everyone, where it promotes greater individual power over data held by others. For example, the government has a lot of our personal data. The government has collected a lot of data in regards to a certain cause or the data that you need in the open government data. Then they have the obligation to be able to get this data out for the public. Okay, so in this case, the volunteers can rescue, preserve, and promote open data. Okay, so for example, data in regards to how the number of people are vaccinated or unvaccinated. So you know if you're going to go to a city or something, you know the number of people who are unvaccinated, you know the number of people, the data in regards to the active COVID-19 cases in that city and so forth, that makes you will be able to create decisions in regards to maybe your mobility, how much health protocol measures that you must take, and so forth. And then the next one is data leak. Okay, so this is the unauthorized dissemination of confidential information. Yeah, for example, previously we have WikiLeaks, yeah, where a lot of information in regards to the state of politics in a lot of countries are revealed, and we have the Panama Papers, which where we can have information on who has shares or who has actually has the financial power in the world. Yeah. And the next one is hacking, or sometimes we call it activism, where we use this needs people who have adequate IT skills to be able to create a point, yeah, for their cause in social media. So they do this to achieve social actions or political objectives. Because hacking is illegal in many countries, then this is actually a criminal offense, and this can be regarded as cyber terrorism. Yeah, so what are the activities that we consider hacking or hacktivism? We can do it by spreading virus, yeah, in online, yeah, through emails or through computers, yeah, through internet networks and so forth. Vandalizing websites, yeah, for example, you can create comments and so forth. And then denial of service attacks, yeah, where some government websites can be made unavailable by people who try to hack them. So this is called DOS, or denial of service attacks. Or sometimes there's doxing, yeah, where they have like bots or others social media accounts trying to defame someone online. Yeah, so this is almost similar to cyberbullying, but usually the victims of doxing are like famous people or people of power or people who have influence. Yeah, so these are forms of digital hacking or hacktivism. Okay, so what are the challenges to digital activism? Okay, so we even activism or social activism will always be around, yeah, where we have people who try to make social change, and now that we have the digital technologies, they can be used to promote or aid or as a tool of creating these social changes. But of course, there are some challenges for this. If we want to make a digital activism campaign, for example, if we want to make this campaign successful, we have to try to overcome these challenges. So what are the challenges? The first one is digital illiteracy. Okay, so it refers to how people are able to use those digital tools, how they are able to use the devices that we use to for our digital activism campaign. Okay, for example, how to use and troubleshoot internet routers, how to use mobile devices, social media, and so forth. Okay, and if you want to think about hacktivism, of course, you need to have, or bots, you need to have skills on coding for the bots, for the hacking, and so forth. And the next one is media illiteracy. It refers to the not the technical use, but the social use of, or the functional use of the media that we use to promote our digital activism. Yeah, for example, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. So how do we function them in our everyday lives, and how do we use it for digital activism, and how and so forth. And the next one is information illiteracy. Okay, so how we make people be able to evaluate information, how they can identify the misinformation versus the facts, how they can validate information to make sure that these informations are correct. Yeah, so we need to assess our public's information literacy as well. Okay, when we are trying to make our digital activism. Otherwise, they won't be able to distinguish between misinformation or hoaxes and the facts that maybe we are trying to get across. Okay. The next one is cause illiteracy. So this regards to the lack of in-depth knowledge about the issues, priority areas, multiple positions, etc., in regards to the cause. Yeah. So for example, we have a lot of popular hashtags, yeah, or hashtag activism in the past few years, such as the Black Lives Matter or the Me Too movement or Never Again, and so forth. So it's how people are really able to find out what is the underlying cause. What are these causes about? What are the Black Lives Matter about that can make in a matter of a week or in a matter of short time, it can create offline marches and offline gatherings, yeah, in all 50 states in the USA and even around the world. So, but do those people really know what Black Lives Matter is really about? Yeah, so this is something that you need to consider as well, how knowledgeable they are in regards to the cause. Okay, the next one is the lack of security. Okay, this we will also cover this in our next lesson on how digital technologies create another or a whole lot of issues in regards to security, privacy, and ethics. Yeah, where even what you say online can actually become a threat to you offline, not to just yourself, but maybe to your family members. Yeah, and how safe are you when you are posting those things online? How safe are your devices to be susceptible to those hackers and so forth? And the next one is the lack of trust. Yeah, so do people really just believe what information that they're going to give you? Of course, this means that you need to foster the trust between you and your public. Okay, and the next one is faulty and missing open data. Yeah, in regards to like before, we have the how the government has the data and how important are these data for you to be able to get them. Okay, so but because sometimes people of power, they just withhold their data, even though it's important for the cause that you are trying to get people to be people to realize on this cause. Okay, and the next one is the lack of supporting infrastructure, such as the lack of timely access to the tools, the tech platforms. For example, if you are the creator, how can you create these posts or content in regards to the cause? Of course, you need some tech platforms, you need some tools, technological or the digital tools for or infrastructure for you to be able to create the content. And also you need the services such as data plans, or the services such as if you're subscribing to a software and so forth, to be able to create your content. And also for your public, how are they if they have the data plans and if they have the platform to be able to access your content in regards to the cause. Well, I think that's all on digital activism. So as a final note, what I'm trying to say is that in this current world, where we are also always connected, then we can really translate all these social movements that were previously done collectively offline, but now it's done collectively online, that can actually be translated into offline activities, such as in the case of the Black Lives Matter protests around the world, that are different in nature from the collective action that are done maybe 30 or 40 years. So what is the difference? The difference is that the collective action that are created before the advent of social media, before the advent of mobile technology such as SMS, they are carefully planned. They are carefully planned so that they know where this is going. But the protests that you see, of the Black Lives Matter protests that you see around the world, which happen in the course of very short time, they are not planned. They are not. There's not like one person or one organization that has the power to know or the power to control these protests. So they just happen collectively because of social media, or because of these digital tools. So they really have the power. These technologies really have the power to promote social and political change. Even to upturn governments. For example, I think it's very famous in the Philippines about 20 years ago, how the use of mobile technology such as the SMS can really change the political landscape of the country. And it has happened in other parts of the world as well. For example, in 2008, in the Arab Spring, where the use of social media, in this case, it was Facebook, was really prominent in the uprising in Egypt and several Arab states. So we cannot turn a blind eye on how these social media or how these digital tools are really creating offline changes in terms of our social political lives, in terms of these collective actions. So it's not just individual actions, but it's how these individual actions become one collective action through the hashtag, through these topics that are going around, these groups on Facebook, these groups on WhatsApp, those viral messages. So how they can actually create offline or real physical changes in the real world. Okay, so that is something that we need to take note of that, how our lives online can really translate and create a change, yeah, in our society. Okay, I think that's all I can share for today. I hope this short video is useful for you, and we'll have the discussion later on after this. Okay, thank you very much for being with me today. I'll see you later.